at a record of, this is round 4, yeah, so 3-0, like, absolutely crazy. So this is the player we featured with Gate Guardians at YCS London. So I don't know what to say, really. He's picked up Gate Guardians, and
I don't think his opponent's going to know what to say after this one either. I mean, it's quite a matchup, and I wouldn't be able to tell you if it's a good branded matchup or not.
It's interesting.
It's 0-2 on stream today.
I think if you're like running a fairly normal deck and it's an early round and you get a feature match, then you kind of know that either you're going to be playing someone who's like maybe like won the last national championships or something like that, a high profile player, or you're going to be playing someone with a weird deck. So if you don't recognize your opponent, then you know something's up. And Darwin's probably knows something's up already because the first card we see there is Magician Soul.
Oh, is that a spellcaster?
Yeah, they're all spellcasters.
Right, okay. They're not like Thunder, Aqua, or something? Like, would that make more sense?
Oh no, hang on, maybe I'm talking nonsense. I know, it's just that one that's a spellcaster.
Okay.
I love Magician Soul in this deck because the field spell lets you put a... so he's going to discard...
Wall Shadow, right?
Wall Shadow, Ghoul of the Labyrinth, I think is his actual name.
Ooh, Ash Blossom. Maybe that's like the branded fusion of Gate Guardian, is Ashing Wall Shadow.
Well, because it's great because the field spell, if you can get it, but which Kevin has been unable to get, would let you, the field spell itself is a spell, and it lets you put a Gate Guardian monster in your spell and trap card zone. So that gives you 2 great cards to send for Magician Soul.
Yeah.
It's quite bold, to be honest, ashing something when your opponent has a Magician Soul, because that could stop your opponent drawing 2 cards.
To be fair, I mean, your opponent activates a card that search a field spell. Field spells,
Field spells tend to be pretty good.
I think if anyone had even a slight idea what Gate Guardian does, you'll probably be aware of the fact that the field spell is like the heart and soul of the deck. And ooh, yikes, as you can see here, a pass just on a Linkuriboh.
Linkuriboh does let you set one of your opponent's monsters to 0 attack. That might defend him.
Yeah. Mirror Jade is not going to be able to do a lot of damage this turn, right?
I don't know how many sort of defensive interruptions Kevin was playing in his deck, because obviously he's got two different engines in his deck, both of which require him to run quite a lot of cards.
Yeah, so I mean, like, the cool thing is that there's, a... I don't want to call it synergy, but there's like decent like 1-card interactions, at least for like the Gold Pride variant. Your best starter, I think, is what is it called? He discarded Crowd Goes Wild, but the other continuous spell. It's pretty much like a 1-card kind of setup here with Leon. Unfortunately, he didn't draw that portion of the deck, but I suppose when you have like engines that interact with one another that are just kind of 1-card combos, it sort of creates synergy.
It's very difficult. I think if we see it in action, maybe we see Kevin execute a few more combos.
Oh, Droll and
Lockbird. That does shut down the Branded Lost search effect, but if your opponent's adding Branded Lost, that means only one thing.
They've already got it.
They've already got the Branded Fusion, so this is not looking ideal for Kevin. I mean, it does mean that Darwin won't get the search, but I think he's happy enough. So you start off by sending Fall of Albaz, and then you have to think for a minute about what your next thing to send is. You can send basically anything in your deck.
Mm-hmm. The issue, I suppose, is like maybe the Droll stops you from going for game. I mean, there's a decent amount of searching nowadays with Branded.
I don't know what's just happened to that Branded Lost. It's just found its way into the graveyard. I think our table judge there just reminding him he's put the wrong Branded spell into the graveyard.
Okay, so going for Albion with the Quem, is it?
No, that was a Blazing Cartesia.
All right. Cartesia is sent here for the Albion, and now on summon, no responses here. Can use the Albion to perform another fusion.
No responses are allowed.
Yeah, exactly.
So Albion's going to fuse with the Blazing Cartesia and the Alaba, so that should be making a... I don't know, I should pick a way of saying this card's name. It's like Grangnol. Oh, it's making a Lubellion anyway. Okay.
All right, you're protected now.
I'm protected.
Ooh, discarding Bestial Lubellion. That's really good.
Yeah, because that you can just, normally the Branded Lubellion can't attack, but if you turn it into a Bestial Lubellion, then it can attack.
Yeah, exactly. So immediately using the effect of Mirror Jade on summon here, just, I suppose, taking some kind of advantage of the Lost Window, just removes the Linkuriboh, and that will help clear the way for 8,000 damage, I suppose.
Well, we'll see. He might have just been sort of because he just put the Lubellion back in his extra deck, so that might have been why he was sort of flicking through it. So he hasn't actually put anything.
Well, he's using Lubellion's effect.
Huh?
He's using Lubellion's effect, right, to shuffle itself back?
Yeah, but he's not used the Mirror Jade yet, is what I was pointing to.
Oh,
Yeah.
right. Yeah, sure. Okay, I see what you're saying.
That was why his hand was in
Yeah,
his
yeah.
extra deck. It wasn't to send something for...
So tributes off the Lebellion here for the Bestial Lebellion. Not finding enough damage, I suppose, but, you know, I think if Gate Guardian is down to 2 cards, it might be a bit of a tough situation to come back from.
I like the way that, you know, the Lubellion's attack was set to 0, but he still went and attacked with it anyway, just to show who's boss.
Yeah, just, you know, asserting a little bit of dominance here.
And during the end phase, you still get, even though you can't add, you can just set directly with Albion, so that doesn't...
Returning the
Get
Cartesia as
bothered by
well
Drawn
to the hand,
Lockbird.
was that?
Yeah. So Cartesia, if it's in your graveyard during the end phase and a fusion monster is sent to your graveyard this turn, then you can add it. Interesting he's gone for the branded opening there and not branded in red. Maybe he doesn't have any targets in his graveyard to add back with branded in red. That might be the case.
Yeah, you need to add back a Albaz or a legal
Albaz
target
or
of
a
sorts.
Despia, yeah.
Yeah, especially considering he's actually hard opened ad libitum. So if he uses Mirror Jade, he can use it again this turn, but I guess not, now that we're doing the opening instead of the branded in red. Let's see if Kevin can mount a comeback here with some sort of Gate Guardian field breaking. I'm not sure. They can summon level 7s without tributes, so it's like Kashtira with small discount.
And the gold, honestly, you know, I think all the gold pride cards do get bonus effects when your life points are lower than your opponent. So maybe being on 5,000 life points, Kevin's now in the driver's seat. I mean, especially with the gold pride cards.
Literally in the driver's seat as
Exactly.
we take off with the crowd goes wild to reveal a gold pride in the hand, and then I think it like swaps it for a different one, and then you take some damage.
I think it just adds a different one, actually.
Just adds
I don't
one?
think you have to
Sure.
swap it. Yeah.
Okay.
No takebacks.
All right, I mean, this is what I mentioned earlier. It's the semi one-card interactions that this deck can do. Try and set up that rank 3 into a carry for a synchro setup, but going to be a little bit hard through the Mirror Jade. Droll and Lockbird comes down here.
That's not something you want to see.
Yeah, I think both of these engines do actually search a decent amount. So Droll might be enough to potentially shut down Kevin's turn here. Let's see what he's got though. Golden Carry.
You're going to have to be carrying me on the
On the
gold
golden
pride
carry?
cards. Yeah, I know the I know
Well-
what the Gate Guardians do, and you know what the gold pride cards do.
Okay,
So between us, we could play Kevin. in
Yeah,
the
we
game.
might be able to reach room temperature IQ here, so we'll see what we've got. I do know that they are 2 level 3 monsters, and a generic rank 3 that you can summon with this deck is the Golden Carry Ixie. But branded on opening is going to be enough for Kevin here as he concedes this turn. All right, well, that was definitely a duel.
That was a duel. I'm really hoping that we see Kevin like really show off what his deck can do, because we saw the Gate Guardian cards at Y600 and that was great. He actually won the match we featured.
The whole match, not just the game. So
Not
that
just
was
the- well,
really
yeah.
impressive with considering just how the Gate Guardian deck really just, it's like a 2 or 3 card combo to set up a spell in the gate, pretty much.
It also
right?
sets up Gate Guardians combined, which like, you read cards like that and you think, oh, okay, so I just can't target my opponent's monsters. Is that like a problem? But sometimes it is. You know, if your opponent summons a monster with 3,750 attack and says you can't target my, or it can negate up to 3 times per turn a card that targets the card on your field. So, like, it doesn't. You don't think, oh, that doesn't necessarily stop me, but you do actually have to deal with it at some
Yeah.
point. So.
I mean, if I was in Darwin's position, I'd be like, if only there was some sort of non-targeting removal in my branded deck.
That is true. Actually, I was trying to think of that as well. Is there, you know, maybe I'll have to search in some kaiju's. You know.
Yeah, it's maybe a harder matchup per se, you know, because of those protection effects. Mirror Jade really circumvents that quite well.
It does.
So
yeah.
maybe we were planning for super heavies and Kashtira most likely. That's why we've got those main deck Droll and Lockbirds by Kevin. But
Drawn Lockbird's really picked up.
yeah, I mean, you know, these sort of quick effect lingering hand traps get to shut down like a lot of strategies, and they basically beg the answer, like, do you have an out at this point in time, or, you know, do you potentially just have to pass and lose, right?
Yeah, I think it's nice if you're like, if you want to run less interruptions, then it's good to have one that's like really high impact,
A
like
blowout,
Drawn
of course.
Lockbird. Whereas if you've got one interruption and it's like an Ash Blossom, it's like, okay, so that will trade like for one of your opponent's cards, but then they can still use the rest of their cards. Whereas Drawn Lockbird might do a lot more just by itself. I mean, it might do less sometimes. Sometimes you'd rather have the Ash, but oftentimes if you've only got one card, you'd much rather it was Droll.
Yeah, that's true. So I think our players are ready to begin duel number 2 as we head back on over to the table. Let's see if Kevin can show us a little bit of that Gate Guardian Gold Pride action. All right, we're here again, and it looks like I would assume you probably go first with this deck.
I hope so.
Use your wall shadow, get your field spell, and do some stuff from there. There is some sort of FTK you can do with Gate Guardian. It might involve some other level 7s like Arsenal Falcon that you overlay into it, special from the deck, but don't think that's what Kevin's going to be doing today.
Didn't look like that when we had a little peek at his deck list.
Okay, so I mean, okay, it's a bit of a tough position. It really is, you know. I'm all over the place here, but I just saw a peek at Darwin's hand, and he's got the Nibiru. And is that good against Gate Guardian?
We'll have to wait and see. Look at this boy.
Oh, Prisma. Okay.
Prisma, it's such a cool card.
All right. So
I like the way he knew what card was on top of his extra deck.
Yeah. Decides to send the
Sangha of the Thunder. Yeah.
I was playing Sangha in some like retro deck recently that I was trying to build. It's is it a 1 tribute monster?
It's 2. It's level 7. No one
doesn't it have an effect that like lets you tribute for 1 or something? I might be mixing this up, but
Yeah.
it's like untargetable maybe or something like that.
I think when it attacks a particular monster, then it sets it to 0. That might
yeah.
might be one of the other effects.
Amazing. All right, so Nibiru unfortunately not going to resolve against a singular elemental hero here, but 2 back row from Kevin is all he's going to really have to try and defend himself with here.
He's not looking super happy about this.
Yeah, he does actually look very frustrated. So reveals Gwing Null.
Fair enough. You've got like a very cool deck to show off when you get a feature match, and then you don't
draw the combo.
Yeah.
Even if just like for one of the games you want to be able to like, I just want to do my combo. I just want to like show you that the Gate Guardians are playable, and they are because it's 1-3
he's 3-0, which is pretty great.
Ooh, okay. Well, that's a Gate Guardian card that's going to help out here. Okay, all right, sure. So the quick effect of Cartesia in response to the first skill drain to attempt to fuse is now being responded to by a second skill drain.
Wow.
No fusions.
No fusions allowed.
No fusions allowed. All right. Looks like that's going to resolve, and Darwin's just going to have to go ahead and try and do something with beatdown branded with no access to fusions.
I mean, how do you think the branded deck plays into skill drain?
It plays.
It plays because it still has large monsters, which is kind of what you want on a skill drain, right? I mean, none of them are as large as the Gate Guardian.
I guess like the only concern is like how do you get to a large monster since Alibur has just been negated and will be negated
forever. Yeah.
You know.
I guess you just need to draw into the branded fusion.
Yeah. The Albion being used from the hand there to send the. Is that Retribution? I think it is.
I think it's Retribution.
It's one of the trap cards.
If it's a trap, it's Retribution. That can banish itself to add a branded spell or trap that's in the graveyard. So that was what we saw in the previous feature match, adding back a copy of Expulsion. But normally you just use it to get back an extra copy of branded fusion.
Decent amount of damage here. You know, double skill drain and Cartesia. Gonna bring Kevin down to 44. So definitely can't really take another couple of turns of this as. Unfortunately and very frustratingly, he doesn't seem to have anything here. Just sets and passes.
Yeah, I don't know how much his. I mean, presumably he knows that his deck can operate under skill drain, but I don't know how much. You know, I guess we'll have to find out. Darwin resorting to good old-fashioned Yu-Gi-Oh! Summon my 1800 attack point level 4 monster.
All right, is it a set Ash Blossom? Let's find out.
I would love that.
No, it's a carry, not quite large enough, and that is going to be 30-something damage here. Kevin's getting very critically low now.
3,300 damage, yeah. I'm really hoping that, Kevin can maybe show us
like he is
one
like,
of the Gate Guardian.
Yeah, I mean, he's like 1 card off the top here. He's nodding, and no, that's unfortunate. I guess he's just completely bricked there. Well, these things happen. As we see, a summon limit, a draw.
He had all the things to stop his opponent from playing.
Except by normal summoning. He wasn't stopping those.
Sometimes you just need to...
This is the saddest winner we've seen. He's very upset for him. Oh, well.
He looks, I guess a win's a win. I mean, obviously you'd rather have a more exciting game, but sometimes the cards fall.
Yeah, you definitely want to, show off your deck, show off your strategy on stream, and it doesn't look like we're we got to see that. That's unfortunate, but I suppose.